Welcome into another episode of the Practice Peak, this time coming off the heels of Virginia Tech's opening 34-27 point loss to Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. But the Hokies are right back at it. This is a mature group, and they're hit the ground running this week in advance of their matchup with the Marshall Thundering Herd. All right, we'll get right into it. Starting with quarterback Kyron Drones. He looked much more like himself today, playing well, moving freely. Now, that is a good sign to hear after late in the fourth quarter against Vanderbilt, he cramped up and went down. Coach Pry had an update on his status.
Cramping, yep. Started in the third quarter with his thumb, which was a little odd. And he was able, obviously to play with it, but it gave us an indicator that, there could be more coming. And right there down the stretch at the end, he started getting a little bit tight and kind of telling us he's feeling like it's creeping on him. And then obviously as we got there, into overtime, it had kind of got him.
But
he's good. Yeah, he looked good today as well. Ran around well today. Thought yesterday he looked about 90% moving and running, and today he looked like himself.
Now, along with Kyron Drones, Coach Pry also had a status update on running back Malachi Thomas, who took a shot in that game against Vanderbilt.
He's good. Yeah, that was one of the plays we turned in. Yeah.
Now, moving up front on the offensive line struggled a little bit against Vanderbilt, and it was the exact same five the entire game. After practice, Coach Pry was asked about maybe seeing a rotation of players in that offensive line moving forward.
I think part of it's opportunity, and part of it is, number of plays. There wasn't a lot of plays on either side in the game. But they were able to. We feel better about Johnny Garrett. We feel, obviously Bob's got experience. Brody. There's guys there that when you say depth, it doesn't just mean you're automatically going to roll guys. It just means you're in a better position if somebody needs to come out. And potentially, you'll want a healthy rotation. But more than anything, it's if somebody goes down, you feel good about the next guy up.
Now, shifting over to the defensive side of the ball, Cole Nelson has had the lunch pail for pretty much all of fall and into the season. And Coach Price and both Oklahoma transfer Kelvin Gilliam Jr. spoke very glowingly of both what Cole Nelson can do on the field, but especially his leadership off the field.
The last part of it is the leadership. Cole's been the same guy. He holds people to a higher standard from being on the field to making sure the locker room's clean. A few of those guys stayed after and helped clean up a bus. After we got back here from the road game last week, you just love going. He just goes about his business every day, and is a positive leader. And nobody's outlet him yet. Maybe playing wise, maybe some people have outplayed him in the practice or scrimmages or maybe a game, but nobody's outlet him, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh, when you're talking about somebody that making sure that everybody on the team is on the same page and leading different, not just the defensive line group, but any group on the field and stuff. And so for him, he's a great, asset to this team, having him, that calling people up when they're down and stuff, making us respond when in tough moments. And he's been nothing but a great resource for me since I've been here.
Now, outside of Cole Nelson on defense, that secondary is definitely going to be a position group to watch at Marshall, as earlier this week, Jalen Stroman was not on the depth chart with an injury he suffered against Vanderbilt. So Coach Pry gave an update post-practice of some younger guys in that defensive back room who are going to have to step up, kind of an idea of that rotation moving forward.
Yeah, I think, I talked to the secondary coaches. I'd like to continue to see more of Dante and more of Thomas Williams. I think those guys have earned it. Obviously if Mansour, he worked a little bit at safety today, and when he slides back, that puts the onus on Dante. He's ready for that. He's not a freshman anymore.
That was all from practice today, but make sure to stay tuned into VTScoop.com for all the updates as we head into the Marshall weekend. I'm Kolby Crawford, signing out for VT Scoop.